3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.
Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Warbird Wednesday. I just about blew my videographer out of the back of the hangar today. We're just energized my querulous assistant, and today we're going down trainer row, and we have moved pretty much out of propeller. There's going to be a couple of propeller-driven airplanes in here, but I'm going to let you in on a secret. We are now going into underpowered trainer jets, because pretty much everything in the early 1950s, and you can argue with me, you can tell me what I'm wrong, but most everything that we were flying in the 1950s just didn't have enough power, and a lot of that had to do with the fact that they were turbojets, they had lag, all kinds of stuff, but they were an advancement forward. But first, what is this? What am I? I don't even know, like a sheep, killer snowman. What is this? They're laughing at me. There are guests walking through the hangar. She's laughing at me. Oh, am I getting a thumbs up? There we go. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this off. I have no idea what that is, but that's part of the deal. I got to wear it with the staff. So today we're talking about the Temco, the TT Pinto. Now, the Pinto was made by Temco Aircraft. Thank you, audience, studio audience there. I appreciate it. The Temco was made by Temco Aircraft in Dallas, Texas. First flight was in 1956. I'll go ahead and now this is an F-86, which is arguably one of the finest jet fighters to come out of that period. But if you were going to, and by the way, the Pinto, I hate saying Pinto because I always feel I'm talking about the Ford Pinto, but the Pinto was a Navy trainer, so we got to be clear about that. It was a primary jet trainer. But I'm going to throw up this F-86, throw up a plan view. Greg, in post-production, can throw in the Pinto's plan view. It was introduced in 1959. Now, it was an extremely low build rate. The build rate on this was 15, and it was gone by the 1960s. Now, the challenge was what I say. Everything was underpowered, which it was. And what's the challenge with the Navy? Jason. They're going off aircraft carriers. And so jets with really high turbine, you say tomato, I say tomato, that had very high lag were really bad on aircraft carriers. They were difficult no matter what you were flying, whether it was a T-33 or anything else, but these things were especially difficult in aircraft carriers. And so this was not a fun time in the transition period, because you went from these really beefy late model Corsairs and other big piston engine fighters that had tons of power in response to these jets, the Cougar, the Panther, a bunch of other ones, the Cutlass, not all that, and a bag of chips. Now, they only made 15 of these. They retired it in 1960 because the Navy felt, what did they feel, Jason? It was underpowered as well. For use at home, it had a J69T9. It was evaluated against a Beech Model 37 Mentor, a jet-powered Mentor, and like I said, it came out being slightly underpowered. And when you're trying to teach naval aviators, that is not a good thing. Now, the interesting thing about this, as we go down the history of this aircraft, we are going to talk about this thing, and I want to say that, we almost had, Jason, a shot at one of these one time, and we didn't get it for the collection. I've always regretted, I don't remember what happened. But this is a little jet that just wouldn't die. And I'm going to tell you later in our little segment here about why that is. But first, I want to get to my salute. And my salute is, and I have beat on all the underpowered jets, all of early post-World War II jets, I'm going to really go and say to naval aviators who were flying at that time, and you know who you are, we are going to salute you, because that was an extremely, extremely difficult time. And if you were flying a Cougar or a Panther or a Cutlass, like I said, or anything in that range, you were up against probably one of the best early jet fighters, which was, Jason, the MiG-15, which was a superlative and extremely dangerous, lightweight, and maneuverable Cold War Soviet fighter, which we've covered. You can go back and look in the Warbird Wednesdays, a couple hundred, we've got them in there. And we are going to salute all of those Navy pilots today with AIL, is that AIL 81? A late one, I think. Heritage 1926. No artificial flavors or colors. You've only tried to poison me. 120 calories. This is actually you're thinking about my waistline, Jason. I really appreciate that. Again, I always use is the California. There is a California redemption on this. In 1926, my great uncle Lee introduced a ginger and citrus soft drink. So dead giveaway that's what this is. So to all of you naval aviators out there, God bless you, and we salute you, all of them, but especially the very, very early jet pilots. A big swig on that. That's actually, oh, Jason, you have failed. Greg is going to be very upset. This one, unlike the last three, which were pretty much undrinkable, this one actually is not bad. So to you Navy pilots, I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to say, I have defeated you, my nemesis, until next week when you give me brake fluid or whatever you're going to do. Now, the interesting thing about the Pinto was, like I said, there were 15 built. It had a very short lifespan, 4 years, and it was gone because they realized that it was just too dangerous to operate. Now, in 1968, American Jet Industries, which was later Gulfstream, interestingly enough, got the design, re-engined it with a GE CJ610, and remodeled it into a light attack aircraft. So, Greg, you can throw that up there. Now, and they called it the LT610, the Super Pinto, because Pinto was not frightening enough. You had to call it the Super Pinto. It was super frightening. I have no idea how they named this airplane. It's like can you imagine if they named the A-10 the Pinto? We're being attacked by a group, although the A-10 can back it up, but Pinto is not a scary name. What the idea was this would be a pave and a coin aircraft. Now, what is a pave coin aircraft? A coin aircraft is a counterinsurgency airplane. This would have been a strike, like a close air support aircraft. The re-engineering it helped it actually carry an amount of stores, could carry weapons. It was so good that the Philippine government actually bought the 610 and the design, bought all the rights, and they were going to produce it. So the Philippine government figured they were going to build the Super Pinto indigenously, but what ended up happening was what? Jason. The market fell apart. From the late 60s into the early 70s, the market fell apart, and the Pinto, the Super Pinto, went by the wayside. Now, the interesting thing is, as late as 2009, so think about this, there have been people coming around trying to think about building the Super Pinto, reviving that, who believed in that design, which I don't understand, but people have looked at it. Maybe if you were involved in that program and you see this, maybe you could explain why the Super Pinto appears to be so alluring, but it never went anywhere, kind of like the other aircraft in our inventory, which I think is really cool, which is the Skyfox, a very similar situation on a re-engineering on a basic airframe. So with that, the Super Pinto went into super history. It was gone. Now, if you want to get your kids excited, this is really neat. This is a aerial military fighter. Somebody thought long and hard about naming this toy an aerial military fighter. And I don't know if you can see that, but I noticed this pilot has the most determined Lego face I have ever seen in my life. So if you want to amaze the kids and have them build something, this actually looks like a lot of fun. Go ahead and click on that link, and Jason will happily forge one of these out of plastic for you in his, no, he won't do that, but he will send you one, and it's actually pretty cool. You know, these things with eye-hand coordination with the kids, they love doing that. Now, if you came across us on Facebook or Instagram or somewhere else like YouTube, go ahead and give us a like and a comment. The likes really help. On YouTube, we can use those subscriptions. We have over 200 videos, and we love your subscriptions and your comments. We can't do all of this stuff with all these beautiful airplanes like this F-86 here without your contribution. So down in the comments area, there is the ability for you to actually make a contribution. Send us a few bucks or a few Filipino dollars. I don't even know what a Filipino dollar is. I should have looked that up, but you could send us a few of those and we can continue in our mission. If you're educating the kids at home, remember, we've got the educator guides also in the comments. You can download them. They are free and you can teach your kids at home. There's a lot of stuff to do in there, whether you're home doing home teaching or whether you just want to teach the kids maybe a lesson or do something fun at home with the family. You can use those. They are free. My name is Fred Bell. I am the Vice Chairman of the Palm Springs Air Museum. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
3, 2, 1, end of test. King with a go.